So let me ask you, Mohammed. So you obviously work as an aerospace engineer, or kind of in work surrounding aviation.
Absolutely, yeah.
How did you get into that? Where did you start? What age did you kind of get into this? Yeah, give me the journey.
So
what does aerospace engineer mean, first of all?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't want
aerospace engineer means, so engineer just means, in my opinion, is somebody who can understand the topic to the point where they can solve problems within it. That's my definition of an engineer. So an aerospace engineer is, how can I understand air to the point where I can solve problems using air? Okay, now an aeroplane uses nothing but air to fly, but you need to understand the physics of how air works and the maths behind it to the point where you can design a wing that, if it flies at a certain speed in a certain direction, will generate enough lift to make a plane fly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've understood the problem, and then you've chosen a specific topic to choose it. Aerospace engineering is literally the understanding of how to design an aircraft to be able to fly.
You make it sound so fancy.
And so simple at the same time.
Yeah, but that's literally, engineering for me is literally just about understanding something to the point where you can innovate and problem solve within that environment. That's all it is. So my journey personally, for me, I used to be that kid that was just staring up at the sky, looking at planes, thinking, how in the world is a piece of metal flying? And not only flying, being in full control. Like that blew my mind. And till this day blows my mind. I completely understand the physics behind it, but it blows my mind. I used to literally watch planes fly, and I used to think, how? So I used to have a burning desire to understand how.
Everything you see around you and that clunk of metal in the sky stays up, like you say.
Yeah.
Does that affect your faith and strengthen your belief?
An understanding of the world around you definitely does. Being able to see how complex the world is, yet we take it so for granted. So granted. We literally glaze past it.
Yeah.
Like, you hear the noise of a plane going over your head. At not one point do you think, this chunk of metal is using physics and maths to manipulate air to create a force on the wings to fly. And somebody understood air enough to be able to do that. And the fact is, birds do the same thing. And birds just jump out the nest and just go. They don't even think about it. They just go. But somebody saw a bird and thought, how? Like, if I was at the time where the Wright brothers were there, I would have probably been one of the Wright brothers, because flying for me is, I want to fly. My dream is I want to do skydiving. There's
you haven't done skydiving yet?
Not yet, bro, but trust me.
You have to do skydiving.
I don't want to do skydiving connected to somebody. That's the problem with me.
What do you mean connected?
I was gonna do
it. By yourself?
I don't want to do tandem.
You don't want to do tandem.
I don't want to do tandem. I want to do on my own. Yes.
Without a parachute.
No. No, with a parachute. But I wanted. So there's a company called Gravity, which do jetpacks.
Jetpacks, yeah.
Now I bang on about them all day, every day, because I want to do that. There's in Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, my favorite part of Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. It says, Ya Allah, do not raise me in the eyes of people a single degree unless you lower me within myself the same amount.
Subhanallah.
So don't ever let anybody think more of me unless I think less of myself in the exact same amount. In balance.
Yeah.
Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq for anybody, just listen to Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq is the epitome of self-development. And I mean that. If you want to develop yourself, if you want to grow into somebody who's more than who you are, listen to Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, internalize its lessons, take on board what it has to say, mean it, like genuinely mean it. Talk to Allah through Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. It is such a beautiful dua.